16 years ago, folks, I stood in this very booth and told the world, being big is a state of mind. Well, 16 years later, here I am again, and I still say being big is a state of mind. Derek Work, the Big D, hello again, everyone, 2013, and welcome to Memorial Stadium for tonight. Week number 2 for the Port Huron Northern Huskies. Week number 1 for us, the folks at CPHS Channel 6. Again, Derek Work, the Big D. Well, tonight the Fraser Ramblers come into town, but first and foremost, a little bit of rough news for the Huskies this season. As earlier in the year, or before the season began, Alex Merchant, the big-time quarterback, sophomore, well, he basically transferred to Marine City. And so knowing that, they enter in Kyle Birch. This is a junior, folks, so again, on-the-job training, very much like Alex Merchant. Husky D, fantastic last week. You can't say enough good about them. 7-0 they lost to Croslex, but even still, 7-0, we can handle that. It's all about the offense, getting points on the board. They don't have a breakaway tailback, though, the Huskies. I think that's a real big deal in this offense. They want to run a spread. They want it to be a passing spread. They don't really have the breakaway tailbacks. They want the smash mouth kind of players. Fine and dandy, but for this type of spread, I think they've got to go out and try and find some speedier, some faster type tailbacks. Big D's, big 3 keys to winning this game. First and foremost, get Andrew Soufis the ball. This is a top-notch wideout on the outside. I'll make it simple. Just get him the ball. Simply done, simply put. It's not rocket science. Number 2, you got to limit the turnovers. Last season, Huskies 4-5 a game. That's too many turnovers. Obviously, you're not going to win games when you turn the ball over that much. And finally, third key to winning this game, basically Brandon Adair up front. This guy is a beast. He's tough, he's rough, he's very physical. He's got a lead. Defensive line. Fraser Ramblers, big power running team. They've got a tackle. Finish the tackles led by Adair. There you have it, folks. Derek Work, Big D, CPHS Channel 6, Week 2, next. Last week, the Huskies played almost a perfect defensive football game. The problem is the offense certainly didn't, as they went down in defeat again, a 7-0 loss to Croswell Lexington. I've got some good news for you and some bad news. So, which do you want first? How about the bad? Northern has now won just 1 game in their last 10 if you include last season. Now, the good. That win was against the team they're facing tonight, the Fraser Ramblers. So, after losing both games these last 2 seasons versus Croslex, tonight the Huskies have a chance to take the home and home of the last 2 years versus the Fraser Ramblers. Judging by how ineffective the Huskies were offensively a week ago, this could just be the perfect Husky recipe to indeed get nasty. But the Ramblers have a big-time power running game, as mentioned, with big running backs. This indeed will be a big test. But welcome back tonight, Huskies 2. Home sweet home for Week 2, Memorial Stadium. Yes, indeed. Home sweet home indeed. Big D back in his booth. I consider this at least my second home. Sarnia the first, this booth the second. And hello again and welcome. Week number 2. Week 1 for us here at CPHS Channel 6. Obviously, Big Reds, they lost their opener down in Martin Luther King in Detroit last week. Huskies went up to Cross Lexington, and they lost 7-0, as mentioned. They don't even have a touchdown yet, so they've got to get on track right away. The good thing, as I mentioned, though, a strong defense. They look like the type of team that can be very tough, very physical, just the kind of defense that Coach Connell is going to want. Question is the offense what he wants? Well, again, some tough news. Alex Merchant transferred to Marine City. That's a bit of a low blow when you consider he was there during basketball season. He was still Port Huron Northern at that point in time. But he transfers to Marine City. That had to be tough on Pat Connell because he kind of took the kid under his wings, and he was the kind of guy that a lot of people out there said this would be the savior of the Husky program. And really, when you consider he was a sophomore last year, well, there you have it. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. We are underway with 2013 off kickoff. Wrestling around the 20, down right about the 20, maybe 21. And here we go. The Husky offense comes out. First off, the Port Huron Northern Huskies are our Northern Huskies. 0-1 overall. No record in the MAC Blue yet. This one, of course, a MAC Blue game against Fraser here. So it's their first one of the season. Huskies 1-8 overall last season and just 1-4 overall in the MAC Blue. And they've got new uniforms, apparently, so they say this season. Those, I think, are the Wounded Warrior Program uniforms. They just use them all the time. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but either way, Huskies looking sharp as usual. Now let's see if they can get some wins under their belt. 1st and 10, outside. This is Sufis. I said you got to get him the ball. Look out, there was nobody behind him. Tackled 29. Got about 7. That'll be second and about 3. And dangerous for Fraser, I think, to play man-to-man coverage against Sufis all day long. He is a threat. It's no big secret. I said big key to the game. Get Sufis the football. Do it a lot, do it often, do whatever it takes. This is a guy that I really thought would shine this season with Merchant. Now they've got to figure out ways to get him to shine with Alex Birch. 2nd down now and 4. Got 6 on that one. Looked more like 7. Lone back. It's a fake. The keeper. Outside. Not much. Brought down. Could be a sack. 48, I believe, on the tackle. Taylor Gray for the Fraser Ramblers. Well, again, the Huskies, as you're aware, coached by Pat Connell in his 4th season. Career coaching record of 13-15. He's been very vocal in saying he's looking for a faster, more physical team than what he had a season ago with the 1-8 record. Overall, though, this Husky team, very young team, basically going to be learning on the go as they go. And apparently it's the biggest turnover of kids that Coach Connell has ever faced in his time at Port Huron Northern, so it could be another trying season, but we shall see. Got to be positive first. 3rd down and 4. Sufis, no. And that's going to be 4th down. Fraser clapping. They love it. And Fraser last week, you talk about quite a game. 52-25, they beat Marysville at home. So if you talk about how they were 1-8 a season ago, Fraser battling back nicely. Taking on Marysville. Despite the fact gold division, silver division, Marysville's still a very strong football team. And Fraser really proved a point last week that they are maybe for real this team in the Mac Blue. That off the bounce, hits off a man. That is a live football to the 25, down to the 20, loses the ball again. I think the Huskies are going to have it. They do. The Huskies get the ball back. Big time error, turnover for Fraser, but we'll take it, baby. 22 jumps on it, Tanton Elliott. One of them that made the play anyway. 40 actually is the one who gets up with the football. Justin Dodge. They need a break, and well, that might be it. .10:09 left to go in the first. Big time break for the Huskies that time. Again, 7 starters returned overall this season for Northern. They are the 7th rated team currently in the Times Herald poll after the loss last week. Runs into his man, tries to hit Sufis on the run, but that pass behind Sufis, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Most of the time, a spread offense for the Huskies. They will do some pro styles, setting up smash mouth running football. They don't run the ball real well from the tailback position. It's more of a hopefully move the sticks kind of a thing, time of possession, that sort of thing. Short runs, as they did last year. But they're not afraid to throw the ball, certainly. So you got to prepare for that when you face them. Certainly as a secondary, you know you're going to get a lot of work out of you. From shotgun, QB keeper, straight up, straight down, pushed back. Probably a sack again to the 18, and that's going to bring up a big 3rd down play in just a moment. Among tacklers over there, number 11, Marcus Bowers, one of the keys players on Fraser. Well, as I mentioned, they're led by new junior quarterback, number 4, Kyle Birch. They like his future. Nice to know after the huge disappointment of losing Alex Merchant, as I've mentioned a couple of times, to Marine City. Well, I said Birch, but actually lining up back there, I believe right now, might be number 32, Mike Poirier. He's actually the last one to come into the huddle here, so he looks like he might be the quarterback. Unless there's a number change here. Maybe they figure it's too soon for Birch yet, and this actually is 32. There you see it, Mike Poirier. Excellent linebacker in his own right. Quarterbacking this year. Back to pass, 3rd and 10. Outside, throws the pick. That pass wasn't far enough. Simply put, 15, now down 17. Sufis on the tackle, but not before Fraser celebrating. Pick, 25, Diallo Bellamy. Basically, what you've got to do on that pass is throw the fade, really. Fade corner. You cannot throw it shallow like that. And it wasn't a case of where the corner just stepped in front of him. It was thrown right at him. Here you see it. Doesn't help the wideout fell down there. And Bellamy, his first pick, maybe of the year. Certainly tonight, Sufis, a nice tackle to adjust, but by then, nothing much they could do. So Fraser's offense comes out. First off, Fraser 1-0 overall. Again, their first Mac Blue game is tonight, as it is for the Huskies. Mostly a running team, power running game for the most part too. Got to the 20, maybe the 21, and officially maybe the 22. Got more out of that on a second effort than they certainly could have asked for. Getting up, I believe, on the carry 5, Ryan Reginer. And that actually might have been 42, Nate Hayward. Last season, just 1-8 overall, the Fraser Ramblers, but they lost every Mac Blue game, and they were 0-5 in the Mac Blue. Again, coming off a huge 52-25 victory over Marysville at home in Fraser a week ago. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. First off, though, 2nd and 5 from the 21. Give to the outside, pushing forward, brilliant second effort. The crowd loves it. Should be enough past the sticks for a first down. Fraser, that is Hayward again. Apparently the first time since 1950 that Fraser has scored more than 50 points in a football game last week, and it came at the hands of the Marysville Vikings. Team strength said to be their best asset, we'll say, as well experience. They've got a ton of it. 7 sophomores started last year. You match that with 5 returning seniors, and things certainly are looking up for the Fraser Ramblers. 2 backs in the backfield, immediate give. Hayward down, lowered, battered. 71 among them. A good job. Justin Fox Breyer for the Huskies. Fraser's going to depend heavily on their running game this season. If you can't tell already by looking at what they've been doing so far offensively. Backs back there, anyone from Hayward to Matt Rowan, number 77, a 275-pounder. Basically, defensive lineman or linebacker defensively, but when he's out there offensively, 77 Matt Rowan, he is a load. 11 as well, Marcus Bowers. He might also see time at fullback, tailback, whatever you want to call it. They're big boys, more like a fullback. This is 2nd down and 10. Here's the bootleg on the rollout. Waiting all day, caught, nicely done, 40. Dragged down by the head, not quite, gets out 44 and out of bounds. First down, Ramblers, nicely done. The naked bootleg, what the University of Michigan in 1997 was so known for with Brian Greasy. Dean Snyder, quarterbacking of Fraser. Great job there, the naked bootleg for a first down. I just mentioned him. Quarterback, a junior, number 16, Dean Snyder. So they're thrilled to know they'll have a senior season out of this guy. There you see the bootleg again. If you don't have a pass rush on that bootleg, you give them all day to throw it. But that play basically is designed to first look at your tight ends around the bootleg. If you can't find tight ends, you look at a second option. Tight ends are the back, outside in the flat perhaps. But when Michigan did that in 97, they really did depend on the tight ends. Jeremy Tooman to the outside when they would do that play action fake bootleg. This gets about 7, maybe 8. It's going to bring up 2nd down, and they say 2. Well, there's a new scoreboard here, new press boxes, new everything up here in Memorial Stadium. More accurately, they took the Big D's booth and they ripped the you-know-what right out of it. That's the best way I can describe it. Didn't even recognize it. Yeah, home sweet home for me up here, but I didn't even know. It's like moving into a new place. A half ripped apart new place, that is. I've got pipes and walls. I've got holes in the wall. And they say it's new. I don't know. New desk, though. I love that. 2nd down. That's not going to be a first down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and short. Pretty good defense there by the Huskies. I will, however, say, as we see the Husky cheerleaders there, excellent new scoreboard. I like that a lot. Instead of over there in the brick on the building, the locker room building on the left, it's to my right now. And a very nice new scoreboard, I got to say. Last year, well, you know, the Big D always complains about something. Complaining about the scoreboard, half the lights were good, half the lights were bad. But there you see the new scoreboard. They're all good. And it's looking really nice, I gotta say. They're saying first down. I think by the initial mark, that is a real good mark from what I see. Anyway, the Husky defense, just 3 starters return on defense, but the ones who did, very excellent players. Pretty decent all-around unit, to be honest. Defense listed as far and away their team's strength. It's all about the offense, basically, staying on the field for long enough periods of time to get this defense a rest. Right, Bloodhound? Chris Sorrell up there on the roof? Right, Big D. First down and 10. The give again. Nothing fancy about this offense. Left side. Nate Hayward inside the 30. Rumbles forward to the 25. Number 2, Austin Thompson, the tackle, but not before a whole lot of yards. Perhaps their biggest gain from scrimmage thus far. Well, the Huskies play a 3-4 defense most of the time. Led up front again, 55, Brandon Adair. I mentioned him earlier, and trust me this, folks. In terms of sheer strength, Adair has it. He was a beast. He was in the spring strongman competition, apparently, in Port Huron. Teams will without a doubt be doubling him all season long. Strong linebackers and Mike Poirier, 32. Kane Santo, the Santo Claus, 52. 28, Damian Hack also leads the way on the back half. There you see Husky defense. Timeout on the football field, 4:40 ticks to go in the first. And here I am, Derek Wark, the Big D. Well, no big secret, folks. I called it right off the hop. Fraser Ramblers coming out. What do? They run the football. I said it was going to be more of a power game. They seem to have discovered this Nate Hayward, and he's really doing the job. Lots of yardage. If you're the Huskies, don't panic, though. Stay put. Remember, I said this game's going to be one up front. You know, Fraser attacks on the run. Attack them back. Make your tackles up the line. There you go. CPHS Channel 6, Derek Wark, and that's a Big D right there. And the bear here, too. Yeah, pointed. And he shaved this year. And I didn't recognize the bear. I didn't. I had to kind of do a double take like this. That's the bear? Wow. But yeah. And he can't get himself on camera, so we'll just leave it like that. But trust me, the bear, the legendary bear, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, see? And he might have just done it before the game, because that looks like a rough shave. Man, good to have you back, Bear, as always. All right, right on. 1st and 10. Again, first quarter, 4:34 to go left in it. Fraser and the Huskies, I'm not sure what happened there. 16 gets eaten alive by a whole horde of Huskies. 71, Fox Breyer, as well as 77, Charles Jacobs. And that's a sack, and I'm not completely sure what 16, Dean Snyder, was trying to do there. I mean, he handed off to what? The ghost of running backs. Yeah, he handed off to nothing. Almost like it was a fake pitch, but when you do a fake pitch, have somebody there. 4 to go now, first quarter. Second down and 10. Basically, a loss it down there a minute ago. Immediate give, Hayward again. Tripped up Brandon Adair. I just called it. That's exactly the recipe for success for the Huskies tonight. You're going to win or lose the game right there. Right there. And if they run right at Adair, who we know is going to be doubled, well, we'll see how strong this kid really is. As I said, strongman competition. He is a beast. There you go. So a very big third down play coming here. So far, so good. Mostly a rushing game for Fraser thus far. Besides that one naked bootleg pass. Do they do that again? 2 wideouts, one near side, one far, and one in the slot with one back. To pass again. Excellent pass rush. Huskies, another big sack. Is it 71? Is it 77? No, it's 72 this time. Spencer Vassbinder getting Husky. Brings up 4th down. You talk about a sack they needed at just the right time. There you go. Spencer Vassbinder. Here's the replay. Great penetration, particularly on the last 2 plays. At first, he's got time to pass the ball, but nobody picks him up. Vassbinder says, if you don't pick me up, I'm going through and I'm going to get you. And he did. Dean Snyder wanted a call there, didn't get it. 45, the punt, partially blocked. Good job, Huskies. Almost touched the ball. Look out. Pretty good punt for Fraser, though. They're going to down at the 8. And that's where Huskies come out with their second drive of the game. Little bit of damage. Fraser did move the ball very well, but end of the drive, nothing, and that is all you can ask for. Port Huron's finest there, police officers, and we've been through this before. I think they have the best job in the world when they can do their duty and be at Memorial Stadium for it. I mean, if police officers are assigned a night where they can go and watch a football game while they keep guard, excellent night. Like to see that. Excellent stuff. 2:06 to go in the first. It's a quick first quarter, lots of running. Here's another one. Down to about the 15-yard line, gain of about 5, maybe 6. I think 40 on the carry for the Huskies. Justin Dodge. Well, the defense of Fraser strong in a few areas. Led at the linebacker spot by a 3-year starter and still just a junior, number 11, Marcus Bowers. He's listed as a top athlete, also a long snapper, and as I mentioned, he may also be used some time at the running back spot, proving this Fraser team a pure, huge back and smash mouth running right at you team. Or at least that's how they list it. Defensive tackle, I said him already, 77, Matt Rowan, excellent. Matt Keys, outside linebacker, 28. And 25, a guy with an interception already at corner, Diallo Bellamy. Second down and 5, handoff, no can do. Fraser gets in the offensive backfield. Huskies caught for a loss. 28 the carry, and one of the captains for the Huskies, Damian Hack. So just about to wrap up the first quarter of play in week 1 of 2013. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. And happy to be back, I gotta say. Pretty good night football weather too. I'm not always sure about these first couple of weeks in September. It can be really, really hot 1 minute and next minute really cold. But these first ones especially, I can fry in the booth. I'm sure you're thrilled to death to hear that. This one over Soufis' hands. And the Huskies are going to have to punt. Excellent field position coming again for Fraser Ramblers. Well, again, I had Kyle Birch, number 4, listed as the quarterback for the Huskies. And again, a junior quarterback, but Huskies electing instead to go with Mike Poirier. Briefly, I saw Coach Connell before the game, and he was his usual smiling, energetic self. Shook my hand. I said, good luck tonight, Coach. This is a punt fake, and he's got a lot of open field. 15, now 20, 25. Look out, 30, 35, 40. First down and a ton more, obviously. Andrew Soufis. Tons of open field and yards to the 47. First down, Huskies. I'm not sure if they had it in mind to fake this, but you can see clear as mud on the replay. Andrew Soufis sees the opening, here you go, and just takes off. There is nobody in the vicinity. Now, normally there isn't, but it's a matter of how quick they get over there with men in numbers. There was nobody over there, and they weren't getting there quick at all. And there you see Soufis taking full advantage of that one. Huge play for the Huskies. Coach Cano, we just talked about him, digging deep into his play of tricks. Punt fake, loads of yards. Soufis, the gross there was, probably close to 50 yards from the end zone where he was standing. More like 40, but we'll take it nonetheless. Great job and smart too. Longtime player, obviously, Soufis Sr. And I said earlier, very important to get the ball in 12's hands. That's one way of getting the ball in 12's hands. Special teams, so very key. By the way, that's the end of the first quarter of play. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6, back in a moment. Well, it was a brief break in the action, but one nonetheless. Second quarter underway. Blown dead right as it begins. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6. From Memorial Stadium, our Week 1, Husky Week 2. They lost, of course, last week in Croslex. Croslex had some players suspended last week as well. One of the reasons why offensively they couldn't do much, but Husky D, that was certainly nice to see. The 7-0 game. Sure, they didn't score much. Thanks to their defense, well, they didn't score anything, but thanks to their defense, kept them in the game to at least give the offense a chance. Trying to get this offense back on track again. This is movement up front. Well, this is an obvious call. The defense jumped offside a minute ago, and I think what happened is they jumped offside again this time. So they give the Huskies a first down on 2 back-to-back plays. unless that was a really bad offensive offside, where the entire line just moves without the ball, including the center, which is not going to happen probably ever, then you know the defense jumped up and made contact. There's the Ox. Big-time Michigan fan. I don't know if he's worried about tomorrow. We got a big battle, Michigan and Notre Dame. I can't wait for it. Give up the middle, past the 40, down 38. So the Huskies keep on doing their thing. There's a guy who, again, the Ox, and yeah, he always does his thing. And he's getting to be a veteran now. Getting to be well known. There's talk of him on the streets. Did you see the Ox last night? Yep, for sure. Basically a legendary guy. Should pat yourself on the back a little bit because of your legendary status. Well, maybe later he will. 2nd down and 6. Gain of 4 on the first down. Kind of a read option look. Late handoff. Number 8 took it. Clint Massey. And that'll bring up 3rd down and short. So Huskies, a sustained drive. This is what they need. They got to keep that defense well rested because, as we proved, the defense a big part of this Husky team. Right, Bloodhound? The one-man gang, the Bloodhound gang. Nope. Chris Orell, the Bloodhound. There he is. Trying to film himself there, or filmed the bear, as the bear was in turn filming him. Yeah, a little bit of trickery from the folks in the truck there. CPHS, Channel 6. Shotgun. Fake this time, Poirier, but they down him immediately. That's going to be pretty close. I don't think he gained anything. That might even be a sack yet again. And now it's going to bring up 4th down. Special hello, by the way, to the folks in the truck. Big fell in the truck down there. E.J. Shea back for his who knows how many years. As I said beginning of the broadcast, this is my year 17. And you know what? If Just for Men is not being used, I have gray hair. So E.J. Shea, big fell in the truck down there. He probably has gray hair too, as does the Green Hornet down there, Ed Sinek. Great to see you guys tonight. Great to be back too. Aaron Bitzinger, Shelly Sinek. Can't forget the ladies either down there in the van. The Huskies continue to move this football. 1st down, PHN. There's the bear. I asked him in basketball season why his nickname is the Bear. And you know what he told me? He filmed himself and got only his nostril on camera. And he asked me, "What'd you see inside that nostril, Big D? Any bears up there?" I said, "No, only cubs." But there you go. That's his nickname. That's why he's called the Bear, apparently. Around left side, 20, inside 15, thinks about cutting, 10, 5, pushed out of bounds, 2. Huskies look like they're going to get on the scoreboard, and that is exactly what this team needs after being shut out a week ago. 28, Damian Hack. Almost, because the Hack attack is back, Jack. There you go. Well, some of the predictions. The Detroit Free Press, they rate the Huskies as overall the last place team in the MAC Blue behind Fraser, but it all depends on who you ask. Detroit News rates them in 2nd last, ahead of Fraser. Straight up, straight in, touchdown, Huskies, Damian Hack. There you go. This is a team that, again, the Huskies beat 41-8 last year. This is a team that they feel they can beat again this year. So why not? This is exactly what they need. Fraser week 2, workout kinks, and it's a great drive. There you see 28, Damian Hack. Great job the whole way, buddy. That's the kind of drive, exactly what the doctor ordered. This one, not so much. Sufis, a blocked extra point try. But the main thing is, 6-0 Huskies. Everybody happy in Husky land so far. 8 and 58 ticks to go in the second. Derek Wark, Big D, being big, a state of mind from Memorial Stadium, CPHS. Again, though, exactly what you want if you're the Huskies. You eat up clock. You let your defense rest, which they did not do last year because basically, let's spell it out. All their turnovers, 4 and 5 turnovers a week, you're just not going to win football games. Sometimes 6. I think they even had 7 against the Big Reds, and still were in that game for a lot of it. But when you turn the ball over that often, your defense, they have no time to rest. Sustained, long, move-the-stick drives like the one we just saw is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Huskies in 2013. And if they have a running back in Damian Hack finally that can do the job, that is something that really Coach Connell, I talked about this earlier, that he hasn't had since he's been here. You could argue, well, maybe Kenny Sanders in year one. But that's more a guy that Coach Connell inherited. If Damian Hack is that standout step-up guy that I said his offensive backfield needs to have, a breakaway tailback, then welcome him with open arms, because that's exactly what this team needs if they're going to do kind of a spread. They haven't been lining up that way tonight, though. More of a power look. Maybe they're learning that that might just be how to run clock down, which, let's face it, they're not going to beat you 50-0. So that's exactly what they need to do. Close victories, time of possession victories, move the stick victories. Here we go again. Sufis kickoff. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. From the 22, now 25, quickly 30. Finds a seam. Huskies rock 'em. 24 gets him late, but still gets him Zach Cohen. I want to personally give a shout out, too, to my cousin Doug. We won't say last names. He was in the hospital, brain tumor, operation. Apparently they got it, a successful operation. But anyway, the point I'm making is he went to Northern way back when. Big-time Husky fan. For you, Doug, let's get nasty, Port Huron. Speedy recovery from the Big D to Doug and his family. You know who you are. Let's get nasty, buddy. All the best to you and yours during such tough times. 8:50 ticks to go, second quarter, 1st and 10 now. Immediate give, up the middle, Hayward, maybe 40, maybe 41, a whole horde of Tusks and Huskies, there you go. The Huskies have tusks. Justin Dodge among tacklers. Well, the Detroit News again rated the Huskies second last ahead of Fraser. Detroit Free Press, as mentioned, rated the Huskies last in the MAC Blue. Times Herald had them just cracking the area's top 10, coming in at 9th when the season began, tied with Armada. I actually think after that 7-0 game a week ago, Times Herald moved them up because I think they're 7th now, whereas last week they were 9th. But when you only lose 7-0, I mean, hey, how can you lose that many points no matter what kind of poll you're in? Second down, 6. I would say just about the only thing I don't like about that new scoreboard. It tells you 3rd down and 6, but right now it's not lighting up to go on, meaning the yard line, the yard marker, they're on currently. That stays blank. So right now it says 3rd and 3, but it doesn't tell you where the yard marker is. Kind of the only Big D pet peeve with that. Everything else about that new scoreboard, though, I like. It's a great catch, and it says so. Advertised right on it says, great catch, Memorial Stadium. 3rd down and 3. Looks like a long 3. From the 45-yard line, Huskies showing blitz. Now they back away. Outside, Snyder, down on the ground, incomplete. Huskies have forced the punt yet again. You kind of get the feeling here that Fraser kind of is a little bit frustrated with themselves here. Because the fact of the matter is, when you look at that scoreboard from a week ago, as I talked about, that 52-25 shellacking of Marysville, we'll call it, when you look at that, obviously a lot went their way. Right now in this game, nothing is going their way. Defense of the Huskies, which we know was good coming into this one, doing the job yet again. That's not a big surprise. But again, the drive where they went down the field, 8 time off the clock, punched it in for 6. That might have shocked Fraser a little bit because they look at scoreboards, everybody does. They see, coming into the game, Huskies, they hadn't yet scored. All of a sudden, you see that 6 up there, nothing going your way, and you're thinking, well, we've got a dogfight here tonight, no doubt. 1-0 Fraser, 0-1 Huskies. Big D, CPHS. There you see, football game of another kind. I don't know, Huskies looking for a quarterback, but that little guy there a minute ago, he can really throw. Sign him up. He'd be a little small, a little young, but Heck, the arm looked good there. So, good to be back. Looks like the Husky side across from me. Pretty good turnout, too, so that's nice to see. Fraser now, gonna punt. Huskies almost block it. High punt, booming one to the 10, to the 9, to the 8. Thompson, around outside 10, stops, starts, but he is floored. 89 among tacklers, Aronde Roy. Or is it Aronde Roy? No relation to Patrick, I'm sure. Nice tackle, special teams nonetheless. So welcome the Huskies again after a very successful last drive, and we'll see what kind of adjustments Fraser makes along the way to prevent that from happening again with 6:42 ticks to go, second quarter clock. Derek Work, Big D, 6-0 Huskies on top of Fraser. First down, I formation look with 4 wide, 3 on the near side, 1 on the far. I think that's Sufis lining up alone. Immediate give, lots of good yards. Look out, the wideout picked up the block. Picked it up late, but still picked it up. Upside 20, close to the sticks again. Damien Hack. Or is it pronounced Damien Heck? I'll tell you what it is, it's close to the first down. And he's got it, yes, first down. This might just be the running back they've been looking for, I said it. But look at the hole he had. I could drive my car through that hole. Excellent stuff, Husky offensive line. And he's not going down willingly. He keeps on fighting. He keeps moving his legs. Big key for any tailback in this level. Gets the carry again, Hack. Well, he's short. Got some legs to him. Obviously slippery. He played last year, but certainly was not a tailback. That might have been another carry actually for junior Clint Massey. And that brings up second down. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Well, besides losing Alex Merchant to a transfer to Marine City, as we've talked about, the Huskies apparently also lost wideout Bryce Van Horn. Apparently, he's at Port Huron Fighting Falcons training camp. So how about that if he earns that spot? That's kind of neat for him. Big hole right side. 30 up 35 and 37. First down, Huskies. And they are really starting to move the ball now. 33, Patrick McGuffin. Erin Bitzinger, the girl they call Keg down there, gave me a scouting report before the game. Yes, even she gives me scouting reports, and it might have been accurate. She said, you watch this McGuffin, Big D, this Patrick McGuffin. He will surprise you. Well, the Big D is not easily surprised, Aaron. Maybe on that one, it's a good quality scouting report. So there you go. I like it. I'm all about accuracy. Hack. End around, and the shotgun tee gets to the 35. Battered 31, Andy Mack got him, but not before a good solid gain, 8, maybe 8.5. You gotta like this Hack and what he does. Good looking tailback. And I would think that if they used Hack to his fullest a week ago, it would not have been a 7-0 final outcome. I just can't see that, so I don't know what happened a week ago. But he clearly so far is the player of the game. He's got the most touches, he's getting yards for them, and looky here, they're moving the sticks. You gotta like it, Port Huron. Hack again up the middle. Depending on second effort, pushes him forward. Tons and tons of Fraser defenders there for the tackle. Matt Rowan, 77 among them, and he is a load, isn't he? 6'3", 280. Number 77, gee, I guess so. That would be like running into a brick wall. Anyway, some serious realignment next season coming in the MAC Blue, apparently. Every 2 years, they do this alignment adjustment as far as your MAC Red, MAC White, MAC Blue, and the MAC as a conference. I don't think Gold and Silver do a lot of moving because their high schools are smaller, but Blue, White, and Red, lots of movement coming. I'll talk about that and some teams that might be moving, they suspect, here in just a minute. Poirier, outside, almost picked off. Very dangerous pass. If you're throwing that quick out like that in the flat, you've got to make sure of a few things there. 89 jumped up Aronde Roy, and that's one that I know he's going to want back. If you see him there, sitting on that pass, you cannot throw that ball. Right, Paul Campo? Campo? I never, ever pronounce that right. On the field cam, one of them. Huskies to punt now. Sufis. They send no one to rush him. He had all day. Not really a good Husky bounce. Kind of a neutral bounce to the 34. Huskies down it there. And that's where Fraser will get the ball. 3:15 to go in the first half. 6-0 Huskies. So far, so good. Another defensive battle just as we envisioned here at Memorial Stadium. Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. Well, when you get back to the realignment for next season in the MAC Blue, it is apparently all going to start with Grosse Pointe South. And this is a team that has dominated the MAC Blue for years and years. The Big Reds that year, 2 years ago, were the only team to beat Grosse Pointe South. And what did the Big Reds do? They moved up to the white. Well, they're saying Grosse Pointe South is being forced next year to move to the white. So there's one team. That'll be one difference. Handoff, not handled smoothly. Huskies jump it. They have the ball. Well, when it rains, it pours on Fraser's offense, and ever since that opening drive where they moved the ball a little bit, the Husky defense has just flat out took over. And in terms of domination up front, as good as I've seen the defensive line play, and I said it beginning of the broadcast, right? Brandon Adair had to lead his crew up front and make tackles. They're flat out doing it right now. Not that they got the penetration there. It was a bad handoff, but it has something to do with it, believe me. Just the fact that they're there, the fact that you know they're getting the good quality, strong pass rush, that led to the fumble. To pass again, Poirier. Outside right, throws it deep, in the hands of Sufis and out of the hands of Sufis. That is a heck of a defensive play right there. Because Sufis had it. That was 6. And 25 said, I don't think so. Diallo Bellamy, early candidate for Fraser, player of the game. He had the pick, if you're wondering, earlier in this game. It's excellent concentration for a corner. If you don't pick that ball off, and you know that wideout is going to make the reception, then your next worry is to make sure he doesn't take any steps with it or tuck it in. Minute he gets it, boom, hit it out. Good job. Obviously not possession. Didn't have it for long enough. Bellamy, strong corner as expected for the Fraser Ramblers. 2nd down and 10. Ball looks to be marked 35, and we have yet another timeout, Huskies. Again, CPHS Channel 6, Big D, Derek Wark, where being big is a state of mind. Lance Cruz North, apparently, is another one of those teams that is going to move up to the white next year as well. And I kind of wondered when last year Lance Cruz North came in here and absolutely dominated the Huskies. Right, Suds, Emily Desmond, I give her a lot of credit tonight because she's in a Wolverine shirt. Michigan Wolverine shirt, Suds. That is excellent. And she doesn't like the nickname Suds. She's made that very clear, but you know what? It's all about the nickname the guys in the truck give me. So Suds sporting the maize and blue. Just like Big D tonight. I got the old Mike Hart jersey going tonight. I've got to show support. They've got Notre Dame tomorrow night. And you don't know how badly I want them to beat Notre Dame tomorrow night. If you've seen past years, you know I talk Michigan a lot up here. Why not? It's a timeout, right? I'm all about the blue on the field right now, the Husky blue and Mason blue tomorrow. Gotta love it. Screen pass look. Poirier throws it. Really what made that possible and an incompletion was, it was a screen setup, we know that. Now, when you set up for a screen like that, it is all about the pass rush. How many guys you lure towards you, because that's obviously the idea of the screen, to lure as many defensive linemen to you as possible. However, on that particular one, Fraser just came at him too fast. So it's a good job defensively, especially if you knew the screen was coming. Chris Orell up there on the roof, that's right above me, and he has this issue, as you can clearly see. No matter how hard he tries, he just can't keep his camera straight. But they still like him, so they use him. How about that? Shotgun, low snap. Poirier outside, throwing it deep. Sufis waits this time. In his hands this time, caught. Down 6. First down, Huskies. Andy Mack, the coverage right in front of him, and really, as a corner, you can't do a better job than that. This Sufis, though, I'll tell you, he's in the Quinn Kotzko mold. He really is. Remember Quinn Kotzko all those years ago? Well, a couple years ago anyway. I said, you've not seen nothing like the mighty Quinn. Well, the mighty Sufis, I'll tell you, in that same kind of a mold. Big play wide out. Hack straight up. Battled back. That play's simple. Run right at the center, find the hole. When there's no hole and you just hit your lineman, well, you're not going to do much. Second down now. And they say, goal from the 6. Very, very big couple of plays here. If the Huskies can push this to at least 12-0, then they're getting more points. Something, again, that they just did not do a week ago. Husky band getting ready to my right for their halftime extravaganza. Shotgun, Poirier, flag first. Lining up a tailback, number 33, Patrick McGuffin, Miss Bitzinger's fave. But that play blown dead, so not an official handoff for McGuffin that time. Well, to wrap up the half and to summarize it here, a Big D summary, how about that? By the way, speaking of summaries, bigdsports.info, my blog where I write about these games from an announcer's perspective. Because, hey, I'm at the games. I see them, right? I call every play. bigdsports.info. There's Thing, Channel 6 employee, the hand sticking out there. Speaking of hands sticking out, this one, a bullet from Poirier, right in the hands of Sufis, right out of the hands of Sufis. And that's going to bring up third down and goal. Clock stopped, minute 50 to go. As I was saying, to summarize the half, it's everything the Huskies wanted. It didn't start that way. Fraser moving the ball well. Defense clearly made a lot of adjustments. That, I think, is one thing that Coach Connell, that's key this year. Make adjustments, because you've got the kind of defense that I think can be strong, that I think can be a good, solid, aggressive D. Adjust to what you're seeing. And I think it'll be a great improvement from last year. Poirier, Sufis, batted down. I think Sufis felt again like he should have had that ball. Nothing fancy about the play call. Have Sufis try and curl or cross directly in front of the corner and hope nobody's in front of him. Trouble is, that's defense for you. Fraser, one behind him, one in front of him. Can't do anything with that. But I still think, saying that, Sufis believed he should have caught that ball. Now it looks as if this is going to be a 29-yarder for Andrew Sufis. Now, he did miss an extra point a minute ago. Sufis from 29. Blocked again. He's just not getting the loft. I tell you something, anybody out there who thinks kicking is easy, you are more than welcome to go down there and try it, because it's not. And there's a reason why a lot of coaches at this level, they go to the soccer team to try and find their kickers, because those are kids that kick long goals. They practice kicking soccer balls in and out from long distances. Those are kids you want. A lot of times when you have just regular football players at this level, they're not as effective. Well, it looks like we have some clock issues. They're already saying third quarter. The clock has reset itself. Well, now it's switched back to quarter 2, but it's got 15 minutes left. So we might be going with no clock here unless they can properly reset it. Well, it's a brand new scoreboard, obviously. And when you have new things, not always the best sign in the world when they break. There we go, 40 seconds. They got it right now. So what's Fraser going to do here? Are they going to just kneel and say that's good enough for us? I tell you something. That's kind of disappointing for the Huskies that they walked away with no points there a minute ago. Because really, they have owned this entire second quarter in terms of time of possession. Notice how I didn't say in terms of score. Not just because scoring's low. Because the Huskies really, I think, in order to be a successful football team in 2013, the first thing they've got to eye and care about and view every stat, every week, did we win the time of possession? Here we go. They're saying just under 2 minutes to go in the first half now. Simple carry, battered back. That's Hayward again. Huskies on top. Yeah, clearly adjustments have been made. Big Brandon Adair up front. A half tackle on that one. So Fraser, again, minus that opening drive of this game, really have done not too much. Huskies a very satisfied team right now. If they continue the hard, aggressive defense and send Fraser into the locker room with the goose egg. This is a pitch back, but do you see something about that pitch back right there even, despite the fact that flag thrown, play blown dead? No blocking. Huskies are over there on the left side. 3 guys to Fraser's 1. That means you're either one, a faster team, or at least your defense versus your offense, or you just have that play snuffed out. Either that or you don't block to that outside because you believe the guy you pitch to has the wheels to get past defenders. But that's a better job for the Huskies than in previous seasons. Good, solid, aggressive defense, and the Big D loves it, and that's what it's all about. Not impressing the Big D, or is it? Timeout, Fraser on the field. 59 seconds to go in the first half. Again, Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS, Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station. All Request Fridays, still going. If you want to see some more Big D, you tell them. Big fella down there in the studio, Green Hornet Ed Cynic. We want to see more Big D on Friday. Well, they'll replay the games. Or any other show that you really liked. You tell them, you give them a call, 984-6621, and you say, we want to see that show again on Friday. They play it. All Request Fridays, CPHS, Channel 6. Stop them. And I love it. You gotta like that scoreboard, I'll tell you. For this level, I'm all about that. Just get yard markings next time. Boy, that Big D likes to complain. Well, that's the only thing missing from that scoreboard to make it 100% perfect. 2nd down and 14, the big sack a minute ago from the Huskies. The give, Hayward again. They're all over him, but he gets away. Look out, they've got blocking. Look out, outside, 35, now 40. Cuts once, cuts twice. Huskies finally get over there, and a few are waiting for him. But Hayward, a fine job to keep his concentration, get outside left and get to the 42, and a first down, Fraser. Nate Hayward. Coach Connell down there getting into that mix a little bit. From a defensive perspective, he's got to be a happy man going back into the locker room. That play right there, it's not exactly going to put him to sleep. Might have got away with a face mask there, maybe an incidental. Good blocking there, Fraser late. And there you see, it's a matter of running on the angle. But see 16 there? You have no idea how important 16 is there ahead of Hayward. Just the fact that he's there. That's Dean Snyder, actually the quarterback on offense, as we have yet another timeout in the field. You have a runner like that to the outside. You have blocking already set up, and you have a blocker running with you. There you go. That's what it's all about. Again, Derek Wark, Big D. Port Huron Area School District, television station, CPHS, and a brand new booth. Or at least a renovated, kind of brand new booth. It's not exactly new wood on my right. It's not exactly new wood on my left. But it's a new bench in front of me. So I can't completely argue with that. A couple of poles behind me ripped out and thrown in the corner. And I gotta say, special props to Channel 6 tonight for getting this all looked after and starting still on time. The Bear didn't really have that much faith. Big D, he's always got faith in the Green Hornet. There you go. We started right on time. Great job, Ed. Great job, EJ. And great job, Husky D. Sack again. A dare among them. 71 got him. Fox, Breyer, and Charles Jacobs all credit the half sack. And there you see Coach Connell, and he loves it. Final 18 seconds. Fraser may just hold it. That's probably going to be the half. And a half that the Huskies definitely can be proud of. And so can we be proud of it for them. A team that lost last week 7-0. So far, so good. 6-0 this week. That's it. That's the half. Coach Connell jumping up and down, letting them all know about it. That's the half. Do not run this play. Timeout. So as the Huskies run in at halftime, we can tell you, Port Huron Northern a very strong first half, strong defensively, and Coach Connell is loving it. At halftime, Huskies 6, visiting Ramblers very unhappy with the goose egg. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS, Channel 6 back with the third after the Husky Band do their thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help welcome the 200-member Northern Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2013 Marching Band under the direction of Eric Sickmajor, field leadership of senior drum majors Eli Schlager, Spencer Kohana, field commanders Jessica Ankley and Christy Prado, color guard captains Emily Wilton and Summer Orr. This year's halftime gives us a look at one of the great singers and songwriters of our generation. The opener for our show finds the artist contemplating the question, what kind of music would you want played for your funeral? Funeral for a Friend answers the question. While the two pieces were not originally intended as two pieces of a unified whole, the artist found the second song segued so beautifully from the first that he ended up recording Love Lies Bleeding and as an intermediate transition from the first of the album, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Drum majors, are you ready to take the field? Field leadership, are you ready to start the show? Port Huron Marching Band proudly presents Sir Elton John. It's a little bit funny. The next song came off Elton John's self-titled 1970 album release with a collaboration of longtime songwriting partner Bernie Taupin. In 1998, this song was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame as number 137 in the Rolling Stones list of 500 greatest songs of all time. Please sing along as the trumpet solo is performed by senior Zach Nicholson and Kristen Gatton. Ladies and gentlemen, your song. Ladies and gentlemen, your 200-member 2013 Port Huron Northern Marching Band under the direction of Eric Sickmajor, percussion instructor Matt Nabosny, Zach Nye, and Corey Strobe. Color guard and drum major outfits were designed and sewn by Ann Tim. Mr. Sickmajor and the band students would like to extend a warm thank you to the Northern Band parents for their tireless effort in supporting our program. We would like to thank all the volunteers and alumni helpers for their work in getting this year off to a great start. Band t-shirts are available this evening with the room renovation. We're cleaning out some inventory. $5 gets you a great Northern Band shirt. And I would like to thank Mr. Sickmajor for allowing me to do his halftime programs for him. Every year I screw it up, Eric, and I apologize, but we got it right this year so far. Thanks, band. Thank you, band. The winning 50-50 ticket number is 8485234. So check your 50-50 tickets. If you hold a winning ticket, please come to the West Press Box. Once again, 8485234. Once again, winning 50-50 number 8485234. Please come to the West Press Box if you have the winning ticket. And once, Husky fans, please welcome back your Huskies.
One touchdown to a team that a lot of people forget about this. Croslex last year very quietly had 2 playoff wins. They played in week 13. That's pretty big stuff. No kidding. Or I guess it would be week 12. There's Reggie near the carry again. And not too much, if anything, that'll bring up 3rd down. As a team, the Huskies last week, just 19 rushing yards to just 30 for Croslex. That doesn't really tell the story. PHN, though, still having some problems running the ball from the tailback position. We've talked about that. Maybe not anymore if Heck can continue at the pace he's going. The thing about that 30 rushing yards for Croslex, though, they went into the 4th quarter with just 4 rushing yards, which proves the Husky D was in tip-top form last week, and the Big D likes that. Second effort looks like it's going to get the first down out past the 49, almost to the 50, but not quite. 3rd and short, big play Ramblers. First down, Ramblers. Kyle Birch last week in his first varsity game went 10 for 24, 86 passing yards, but most importantly, no interceptions. The big Achilles heel for the Huskies a season ago, turnovers, but not on this night. As far as I'm concerned, that right there, you could have just told me right there they had no turnovers and I would have said great work. After what we saw last week, compare it to last year, no comparison. Gain of 6, maybe 7 more. Ramblers really starting to move the ball now behind tailbacks Ryan Reginer, also Marcus Bowers, number 11, who got the carry right there. This is that load I was telling you about. 6 foot 220 Marcus Bowers just trying to tire out the Husky defensive line. This is where I called it. The big guys like Adair, they've got to be waiting. They've got to bust up. They've got to get penetration on the D line to stop them. 3 backs, power set the whole way. Around right side of the offense to the 40 and a first down again. 9 the tackle again. Cortez Adley, first down again. Ramblers, flag on the play, thrown in the defensive backfield, so we'll see what this is all about. Lots of drop balls last week by the Husky receivers, though, and they were saying if we just would have held on to the ball, who knows what would have happened. Anyway, Kyle Birch, 19 for 38 on the ground. After the next biggest rusher was Damian Heck, who had just 8 for 28. Well, that penalty is going against the Huskies. Way up now, ball mark 25. So that is not what Coach Cano wanted to see right out of the dressing room. That girl pretty happy there about it, though. There you go. Hoping for perhaps a touchdown there. I think she's on this side. It has to be because right behind her in the background is the Big Bear. And he wasn't around at halftime. Nobody knew where the Bear went. Brandon Wright, yeah. So when you don't know where the Bear went, my logical answer to that question is simple. He went to his cave. Yeah. What's so hard to figure out about that? Timeout on the football field, by the way. 8 and 26 ticks to go in the third. Huskies clinging to the 6-0 lead. But don't look now, the Ramblers are a-rambling down towards the goal line. Sufis, Martindale, the top receivers for Northern last week. But both of them, each only had 25 receiving yards. Sufis on 3 catches, Martindale on 2, as you see. Stoppage in play, 8:26. I tell you, the boom mic is really loud in my headphones, overshadowing the Big D, and we all know what a loudmouth the Big D is. So that's hard to do at times. But on this particular timeout, it's quiet. You could hear a pin drop in the background now. So that, I like that. Scoreboard up there says stop them. Stop them. I looked up the one time, it said, why don't you go for a snack? Well, no thanks. I've got to announce, but hint taken. First down and 10. Left side. Give. This is Bowers again, busting through. Natron Means style to the 15, maybe 14. This is what he does. Huskies wanting some kind of an unsportsmanlike call there. Bowers kind of rubbed it in a little bit. But a first down, here come the Ramblers. Ever since they checked in this Marcus Bowers, Huskies have had no answer for him. I said it at the beginning of the broadcast. Rowan and Bowers, they're big loads. They power, they smash mouth, they bust through. But you can see why all of a sudden 11 Marcus Bowers and his size has checked in now to tire out the line. That's what they're doing. They're overpowering late in the game. That's the Michigan Wolverines old style with Bo Schembechler. Tire you out late. Well, the Huskies read this one just like a book. Reginer the carry, not before 33. Pat McGuffin with the tackle. Well, Miss Bitzinger, your scouting report right on the money. This McGuffin, all you hailed him to be and more. There he is again. You talk about players like this. I mean, that's just a sophomore. You telling me he's got 2 more years at this pace? Excellent stuff. Kind of reminds me a bit of Raven Randall, the Big Reds. That kid came in as a freshman and played in the playoffs. Similar style, similar mold. This McGuffin could have a bright future here for the Huskies. 2nd and 7. Outside, Hayward lowers his head. Flag first. We'll see what this is all about. Flag thrown right at the 10. Well, some other interesting stats about last week. 16 total punts from both teams. That flag, by the way, on the Ramblers, that'll push them back. Run there by Hayward is negated. But yeah, 16 total punts last week from both teams. 17 first downs. Northern actually had 11 of the 17 first downs. They gave up just 6 total first downs to Croslex. You heard me correctly. 6 first downs in 4 quarters and still lost the game? Are you kidding? No, I'm not kidding. To answer myself, kind of freakishly. 2 total trips into the red zone from the Pioneers. They scored on one of them, and that's all they needed. More on that game in a minute before we wrap that up. Second down now, I believe, and 12, despite the scoreboard saying in 7. Bowers around left side, but they're waiting for him this time. This is the battle. This is what will decide this football game. Tackle Bowers and Rowan and these power backs right at the hole. Right when they surface of where they're going through the hole, between tackle and guard. Jump the hole, get penetration, do not let them buy the line. It's not like a guy like Chapman who picks up speed, like Mark Chapman from a year ago, of course, the Big Red superstar. Picks up speed through the line. This is a guy that's going off like a steam engine, like a freight train. Gets his speed late and late and late. Don't let him overpower through the line. That's a play fake this time. Dean Snyder outside, QB keeper off the play action, but that's not going to be near enough. Good defense, Huskies. It's a logical play call because you've basically, the entire drive, you've stamped U.S. mail on number 11, Marcus Bowers, and said, you lead us left side, tackle guard, as I mentioned. Just overpower, go through. The whole drive. Here you see, they make the Huskies think they're doing it again. Snyder the fake, roll out QB keeper. But the Huskies, fabulous defense. They were waiting. Well, we're going to have a field goal attempt here. Number 6 to kick it, Matt Lentine. And this one going to be from 25. So the 25-yard field goal attempt to try and cut the Husky lead in half. Could be a fake. Squib kick possibly the outside, but dragged down from behind. Fabulous special teams play. 12, Andrew Sufis. And a flag was thrown after the play is made, and you know what? This could be unsportsmanlike against the Huskies. If it is, I don't have a word for it except, wow. Are you kidding? It is. It's a personal foul against the Huskies. It had to have happened after the play. It had nothing to do with the play made by Andrew Sufis, which, needless to say, was outstanding. But it's all for naught. Half the distance now. It'll be first and goal from, I believe, the 8. I'm not completely sure what happened. I'm not sure a replay would even show what happened if it's just a Husky mouthing off. Well, that's just shooting yourself in the foot. Here was a chance for the Ramblers to cut the lead in half. And at worst for the Huskies, you think, well, they're just cutting the lead in half. It'll be 6-3, so what if they get it? Coach Connell cannot be happy. There he is right there. I know I'd be frustrated. Well, perhaps all for naught. The Huskies are lining up from the 8. Okay, so it was after the play then. Play is going to stand, Husky ball. So the Fraser fans were clapping, but all it really did was give half the distance, still Husky ball. I thought maybe at first they'd get the ball back. This is another penalty, though, cutting into half the distance again. So now it's going to be what? First and 14, I believe, from the 4. Here it was again. They just didn't get the first down. I don't know why the Fraser fans were cheering. I guess because they figured it was going to be a first down for them. Well, yeah, there you see Mike Poirier's just taunting right in front of the official. Thank you. Great job, E.J. Shea, getting that replay for us. See what happened? Here he goes. Damian Heck, look out. 30, outside 40, 45, 50, crossing midfield. It's a race, folks. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Heck is in. Touchdown, Huskies. What What did I say, Huskies? You are making the Big D look absolutely brilliant tonight. I said, beginning of the broadcast, what does this football team need? It needs a breakaway back. Say hello to their breakaway back, Damian Heck. Touchdown, almost 100 yards. How about it? And they have not had this in years. Nothing fancy. There was just no secondary help. The secondary wasn't even there to speak of. And he just took off and took advantage of it. Sufis finally has the loft. Finally, it's good. So 13-0. Damian Heck, if you're the Fraser Ramblers, that really is considered unacceptable. You have them pushed back. You have them with horrible field position, almost the worst you can get. Here you see the replay. Well, that's after the snap, actually. There you see him running on an angle, though. They're trying to catch him. Again, though, there's the man in front. What I say earlier, never underestimate that one blocker beside you or in front of you to help. That this time was Aaron Martindale. It's a foot race. Damian Heck. When was the last time, folks, you saw a Port Huron Northern Husky run for 90-plus end zone touchdown? I honestly cannot tell you if I ever have seen it. With the Big Reds, lots of times. We saw Taddy do it. We saw Chapman do it every single game. But never the Huskies. Now maybe, just maybe, they have prescription complete, just what the doctor ordered. Their tailback. There you go. How about it, PH? I say PH as in Port Huron, obviously. PHN more accurately. So, they're happy. In Port Huron's north side, let's get nasty. Port Huron down on the bounce, 32, and they'll just go right down. So really, the momentum change has messed with our minds here in this half, so far in the third quarter. Because Fraser came out, they brought the ball right down the field. Husky fans, it was quiet for a while, starting to get a little bit nervous. What happens? One play can change the face of any football game. That was it. Derek Warwick, Big D, CPHS Channel 6 from Memorial Stadium. Game 1 of the 2013 season, Game 2 for the Huskies. We lost a week this year. Usually we get 9 weeks. Both teams were away in week 1 this year, so we're going to get only 8 weeks unless one of these teams makes the playoffs. And not to jinx the Huskies, as you see a fine play right there. There's that D-line again. Mike Poirier among tacklers, as well as Sufis was over there. I don't want to jinx them, but I'm going to bring it up right now, and then I won't mention it again. What if this team, and I might be talking prematurely here, obviously, but what if this Husky team gets right on the borderline to possibly make the playoffs, and then they look back and say, we didn't make it because of that 7-0 loss? That would be tough, man. It really would. Anyway, I'm not going to say it anymore. Right, Paul Campow? A guy was there trying to take his picture. Is that allowed? Is that legal? Does he not need copyright consent from CPHS? Stepping in front of this one and picking it off is Austin Thompson, but we'll see first. At the 36, they're going to mark the ball right there. It might be pass interference first, though. Not on Thompson. On the corner, who is covering the actual wideout on the one-on-one. We'll see. I think that's what they're going to call, actually. So will the interception stand knowing that? We'll see. Very important call here for Fraser. Down 12-13. Check that. Nothing to our Huskies. It is. It's pass interference on the Huskies. So that interception called off. Here you see it again. Well, yeah, he's using the off arm and he's just pushing him out of bounds. You know what really is frustrating for Coach Connell in that situation when you have a look at that play right there is the fact that the push-off is something that you don't have to do. Because the corner pushing off the wideout was not the one who made the interception. He's 5 yards away. Would the wideout have gotten over there? Who knows? At least in that case, though, you want the pass interference on the guy who made the interception, not someone that wasn't around the football. So you know what? That's frustrating. What can I tell you? Fraser keep it. 1st and 10. Pass caught outside right, pushed out of bounds. Hadley again. Reception made. Tyler Euler brings up 2nd down. Only a short gain of about 4, maybe 5. Good crowd on hand tonight. Also, there you see one of the little girls. Lots of kids on hand here tonight. Nice to see too. Future Ramblers. Future Huskies. The actual Husky dogs are here tonight too. Always nice to see the dogs out. The actual mascots. The human Husky isn't here. The actual dogs are though. This one batted down at the line. And was it an interception? It was! Laying on the field was 77 Charles Jacobs. Look what I found, and you know what? It's the correct call. We may need a replay of this one, but if he is just laying there and the ball ends up in his hands, it stands. He's not the one who batted that ball down from the line. Here's the replay. Watch 77. He's on the bottom left of your screen. Oh, he wasn't laying down. Did he get that with one hand? Did he reach around the lineman with one arm? He did. Well, that was in the air. That's a heck of an interception there by a defensive lineman. Charles Jacobs, how about it? Nicely done, Jacobs. Huskies, new life again. Starting to take control of the game now. Mike Poirier, play fake. Between guard and tackle. Gain of about 6, maybe 7 out past the 45 to the Rambler 44. 2nd down. Again, one more thing about that game last week. Well, here's that replay again. Watch this. It was simple play fake. Batted down. Look at that. He used one arm behind the back of the right tackle, 79 there, who was Antonio McSwain, and it wasn't his fault. He didn't know what was going on. The ball was batted down at the defensive line, reaching behind the back and saying, look what I found was Jacobs. How about that play? Damian Heck, nothing. Maybe a gain of 1 on a second effort, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Again, though, talking about that game last week, Huskies, just one trip into the red zone. That's it, one. Here it is one more time. Look at this. Jacobs, maybe he did catch it with 2 hands. It was a bang-bang play, and you know what was really weird about it, too? Look at his reaction. He's like, I really did that. I think he's surprised the referee gave it to him. Anyway, 3rd down and 3. It's a play fake. Poirier cuts up. Going to be close, but going to be, well, a yard short by the looks of things. And that's going to bring up 4th down. And now an interesting play call for Coach Connell. There it is, the M hat. Go blue tomorrow. I can't say it enough. You want me to tell you what that game tomorrow comes down to? No? Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. Michigan's offensive tackles against Notre Dame's defensive ends. Lewis Nix, Taylor Lewan, you want to prove yourself? Tomorrow's where you prove yourself. 4th down and 1, the Huskies are indeed going to go for it. Well, it's offside, and it looked like a shift in the offensive line. All 5 players moved there, and that just looked weird from the get-go. Well, no, it was offside actually on Fraser, and they fell for it. It was a shift by the offensive line to purposely throw off Fraser. How about that? A little bit of a trick play from up front. So it'll be 1st down Huskies. I tell you, there's a whole bunch of ways to get a 1st down. In this game, there's another one. They're going to try the super duper slow-mo here, but sorry, big fella in the truck, EJ Shea. I don't think you're going to get this one off, man. No, you're not. Good thinking, though. I like the way you think, buddy. This one out in the flat again. Good job to avoid the D. Reaches forward. Number 2, the catch. Austin Thompson. Got maybe 6, maybe 7. Brings up second down. As there you see gentlemen running for no apparent reason. Here's that play again. Batted down at the line. Now, what does Jacobs do? And the EJ Shea super duper slow-mo. It might have been with 2 hands. Antonio McSwain, the lineman there, doesn't even know what's going on. Charles Jacobs, great concentration, man. That's a great play for a lineman. 2nd and 1. Shotgun look again. Final minute of the third. Still, Huskies 13. Ramblers nothing. Straight up, straight down, close to the sticks. I think they've got the first down. Well, they're stopping the clock. We might have a measurement coming here. There you see it. All Huskies up 13. Can't really ask for anything more coming from a team that didn't score at all a week ago. Final 35 seconds of the half. No play clock at this level. You know the Big D complains about it year after year. Why is there no visible play clock? I don't know. They don't have one in high school football. It looks like the Huskies are indeed going to run one more play here before the quarter ends. Final 15 seconds. Poirier shotgun. There's that line shift again. Did they catch Fraser moving again on it? Well, simply put, if you're Fraser, you don't jump on this because they're not lining up in front of the ball. If the center makes a move, like he grabs the ball and sets himself, that's different. If he doesn't do that, then this shift means nothing. It's beaten Fraser, though. That's going to do it. 3 quarters complete from Memorial Stadium. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. After 3 complete, you gotta love it, Husky fans. Husky D holding strong again, and the offense has just enough to maintain the lead. 13-0 Huskies on top of visiting Fraser after 3. Big D, Derek Wark, CPHS, back with the 4th on the flip side. Welcome back. 4th quarter action, Memorial Stadium. Derek Wark, Big D once again. We didn't do this at halftime, so why not quickly here before the 4th quarter begins? I like what the Huskies are doing. Aggressive. This is how you win when you don't have the game-breaking offense. You got to do just what they're doing. Move the sticks, time of possession, and the breakaway back to go with it. I like what we're seeing. 4th quarter, recipe for success. Big D, Derek Wark, CPHS Channel 6. And speaking of him, Hack, right when we talk about it, how about it? There it is. Inside the 10 to the 5, and this whole half really is the Damian Heck show. I don't know what his relation is to Darian Heck, who obviously was here a few years ago. But clearly, certainly, he's got something. The Huskies have something in this kid. Flag on the play. So 4th quarter, just begun. Only 8 seconds, ticked away of it. Poirier, shotgun, play fake. Nice cut move. Poirier, the keeper. I said beginning of the broadcast again, because basically I read it. This is the kind of research I do. It's never 100% because nobody tells me. It's never 100% for sure. I read Kyle Birch, the junior, was going to start like last week. He didn't, and I don't even know if he's been out there at all. Instead, it has been Mike Poirier, and so far, so good for him. He hasn't done anything spectacular, but he's done nothing to lose the game. He has set this team up to succeed. And some quarterbacks, that's all you can ask. Little Damian Heck is in again. Touchdown, Huskies, flag first. We'll see. It's pretty obvious who the offensive player of the game is on either side of the field. This is going to be holding against the Huskies, so it doesn't matter. That's all for naught. It's coming back. Anyway, one more time on that game last week. Huskies just one trip all night long against Croslex into the red zone. They had a penalty, 2 drop passes, and a missed field goal, and walked away with nothing. That was far and away their best and really the only real offensive drive of the game. After that, Northern only crossed the 50 one other time all night long. This clearly is not the same Husky team. Either they didn't have Damian Heck as their leading tailback last week, or they're just playing with better effort, better intensity, and they want this game more. I don't know. I'd have to see. Heck definitely had some rushes last week. I read those stats, but nothing like this. So either they're blocking better, or they just have Fraser's number. And you know what? Sports are weird that way. You can dominate teams. You can be the best team, as we have a timeout on the field, by the way. And it might not matter because the last place team can come in. And you know what? If they own you, if they are known as a team that regularly beats you, sometimes it just doesn't matter. It's the same thing about baseball. Some players, no matter what they're hitting, .1, let's say Ramon Santiago with the Tigers, sometimes that guy just hits certain pitchers, no matter who, no matter what he's hitting. You put him up against the right pitcher that he's always done well against, he continues to do well. That's just the way sports is. And I really think that maybe, just maybe, this Husky team, perhaps they just own the Ramblers. And I really think this Fraser team, I've said it before, I think the whole team, the alumni, the fans, they're all shocked right now. I do. I think they figured they'd come in here and stomp the Huskies. They saw last week 7-0 losers. And in their own right, they took it to Marysville, as mentioned, 52-25. They come in and they are owned by the Huskies. Pass way out of the reach of Sufis. But that pass right there by Poirier is what he did not do on the pass that was picked by Bellamy in the early going. He threw it on a post in the corner of the end zone. There's the Ox. They have not gone to Ox very often this evening, and usually he's always in the dark. He told me his life is one big dark room. Well, apparently no. Apparently, there's the light. We have light. Yeah, Suds is liking that too. Almost every broadcast I've seen with those two, they're always in the dark. They never turn on the lights. Well, now, lights are on. There you go. Wide open man. End zone. Touchdown. Mike Poirier the pass to Austin Thompson. That might have been a defensive letdown. As far as matchups go, well, obviously it was a defensive letdown. He's wide open. But there was nobody in the vicinity of Austin Thompson, which makes me think it was a check down. And that Memorial Stadium brand new scoreboard has up on it the Superman symbol, and it says Super Play. Well, there you see it's flashing touchdown now. I like it. That's pretty cool scoreboard for this level. I like that. Sufis to try and tack one on to make it 20. It is all Huskies tonight. It's up. It's no good. Just missed to the left. So, despite the kicking troubles of the Huskies tonight, they still lead by 3 possessions. Huskies 19, Ramblers still with the goose egg. There you see 10:55 left to go in the fourth. Big D Derek Warwick, CPHS. Just wide open. That's all you can say, and then you move on. And there are the Huskies. And you talk about really nice dogs, those two. Really nice looking dogs, aren't they? Get out of the way, Thing. Yeah, things in the way of the dogs. And that was Shelley, I think, sticking her head out there. Look at him, wide open. Nobody's even in the vicinity of Austin Thompson. You want to be absolutely sure as a wideout that you catch that ball there. There's the pack. In basketball, they used to call them the James Zone. Now the pack. And they are loving life again. 19-0. So really it makes you wonder, is Fraser that bad? Are the Huskies that good? Did they play weak last week, or do they just own the Ramblers? 41-8. The Huskies beat Fraser last year in Fraser. They came down there. It was all Huskies. The only win they had all year. Well, here we go again. There's the Bloodhound. And he is not out looking for blood. He's on the roof looking for good camera shots. Possibly of blood, I don't know. But he's the Bloodhound, Chris Orell. I am Big D. If you don't know by now, where have you been? CPHS, Port Huron Area School District television station. And if they want me to shout out the CPHS staff tonight, they're going to have to bring me up something. If they want credit. If not, I'm the Big D. Let's get nasty. Port Huron. Sufis off the bounce. Up 30. On the return, 35. Good spin move. Down 39. And that's who got the return, number 39. Jeff Mainhart. Apparently, one more thing about last week. Apparently, Croslex, and I mentioned this briefly earlier, they suspended 4 of their starters for reasons they wouldn't say. But one of them was Anwar Childress. What's the big deal about that? Or Anwar Childers, sorry. He's their starting quarterback. So that certainly didn't help the Croslex scoring last week. Right, Suds? I give her credit. She always looks happy anyway. She does not fear the Ox, as maybe she should. 1st and 10 to pass. Batted away at the defensive line. That Husky defensive line has owned this game. I said they had to, and indeed they have. That's where the new uniforms come into play, though. They've got that white trim around the shoulders now to kind of go with the yellow. And I believe their helmets are more of a black look now. Right when I say give the CPHS staff some credit tonight, Shelley Sinek immediately sprints up here faster than she ever has in her life to hand me this. So we'll get to that here in just a moment. 2nd down and 10. 1 back, 4 wide, outside. Through the hands of intended receiver there, 14, Tyler Euler, and out of bounds. There's Shelley. She's not going down at near the speed she came up. Anyway, camera people, CPHS Channel 6 tonight. Well, that's cool. It's cool the Pack are so happy. Anyway, camera people, Paul Campow, Suggs, Emily Desmet, Carl Staffhurst, the genius. Sean Went the Ox, Brandon Wright is the Bear, Slow-Mo Cam, the Bloodhound, Chris Orell, Slow-Mo Director, the big fella in the truck, EJ Shea, Graphics, the Keg, Aaron Bitzinger, and Production Supervisor, Green Hornet, Edward Sinek. This one going deep, diving try, and a great effort is 5, Ryan Reginer, incomplete. Oh, the Keg. I'm sorry, Aaron. That's what they told me to say. All these nicknames are what I'm told to say, honestly. Somebody's funny version of a joke, I guess. I've said it in the past, man. I'm glad I came up with Big D. Because if I didn't, who knows what name they would have chose for me. I don't even want to know, you know that? Anyway, again, BigDSports.info is the blog where I blog about the games here that I see here at Memorial Stadium. Tonight's game I will talk about. I'll probably get that out Sunday or Monday. Anyway, 4th down play, going deep, almost a wonderful catch again. Reginer a minute ago almost made a great catch. On a dive play, here he dove and almost came down with a one-arm play. Husky D holds again. You're looking at now 7 quarters of football and then some of just 7 points given up the Huskies. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care if your strength of schedule. That's pretty darned impressive. I'll tell you, it is. So the Huskies, it looks more and more now like they're going to be undefeated no longer. Immediate give up the middle. 28 among tacklers, Matt Keys. Doesn't really matter though. Huskies, I think, now are trying to run down the clock. So knowing that, let's run down the Husky schedule for 2013. Of course, last week, I've said it enough now, probably 50 times. So for the 51st time, they lost to Croslex 7-0 last week. Tonight they've got Fraser, obviously. We're watching her right now. September the 13th, next week, they've got Lance Cruz here. September the 20th, they're at Macomb, Dakota. Dakota wiped the floor with them last year. They more than likely will again because I believe Dakota is top ranked in the MAC this year. Pump fake, Mike Poirier outside. And the hand, Sufis, did he catch it? No. He's out of bounds. Great effort. I tell you, you got to like this 25, this Diallo Bellamy, the corner, for Fraser. And what a great matchup that is against Sufis one-on-one. Clearly the best cornerback on Fraser against clearly the best wideout, Sufis. There's where the bear was. He wasn't in his cave. He was sleeping. Now, normally I'd say, wake him up. But we've cleared this up before. Ed Sinek, he doesn't mind his camera people sleeping on the job. They need a rest, you see. Because he knows deep down they're dreaming of good camera work. So no problem. A fumble on the snap. Huskies jump on it. Check out Huskies. Fumble the snap. Fraser jumps on it. There we go. Was the Bears sleeping or was the Big D? Either way, Fraser fans loving it because fresh set of downs for them and they can start with good field position now on the 44-yard line. Again, the rest of this Husky schedule, well, he just took off without the ball, basically. Not a smooth handoff, and jumping on that ball, Fraser, new life perhaps. September 27th, right here for the rivalry game. It's a real weird schedule this year. Like I said, we're doing 8 weeks and not 9. We don't see the Big Reds till week 5. Check that, week 4, when the Huskies go to Macomb, Dakota, as just mentioned, and a very tough task for them with Dakota's high rating. This is going to be offside, and the Rambler is going to push them back. And it's going to be first down and 15 now instead. Then October the 4th, back here again against Grosse Pointe South. Believe me, in terms of competition, there is nobody better in the MAC Blue than Grosse Pointe South. And I said it back in quarter number 1. Grosse Pointe South will move up to the white next year. The MHSAA is making them do that. So, knowing that, can you imagine what a hard task they're going to be for the Huskies? Anyway, October the 11th, they're at Lance Cruz North. Lance Cruz North came in here last week, or last year, I should say, and were very, very strong. I was very impressed with them. First and 15 to pass again. He's got all day to throw it. Does. Very tight defense. No flags. Good job. 3, Aaron Martindale as Dean Snyder. He actually has more time to throw that ball than perhaps he's letting on. Good pocket formed. He actually had a hole if he wanted to take off and rush that ball, but he chose to throw it. October the 18th, Huskies are at Grosse Pointe North, and then October the 25th. Obviously, this game means something a lot more than because they're close in geography, cities. They've got Marine City. Alex Merchant transferred to Marine City. That's the game, October 25th, where they are going to face their ex-Husky friend Merchant in a different uniform, so that'll be interesting. Second and 15, QB rollout, Snyder, good pass. Caught 50, down 56, a hard tackle by the Huskies. Robert Lane, but not before 5. The reception, Ryan Regener. Got a lot of that back, but it's still going to be third down, and it looks to be a long 4 yards here. They've got to get a little bit past, in my opinion, the 46. Closer to the 45, I think, to make this a first down. So they've got a ways to go here yet. There's the pack. They've got some tunes going even there. Putting the ghetto on their shoulders, some of them over there. Bad snap. Snyder, in and out of the hands. Antenna receiver, Brad Ouimet. And that'll bring up fourth down. And I would think, for any attempt Fraser's going to have to come back and win this game, or at least get back into the game, they have got to convert this. If they don't get this, I would say that's just about all she wrote. With the fact that the Huskies are up 3 possessions, 8 and 31 ticks to go in the fourth. Four wideouts. The tailback is Hayward. To pass again, Snyder. That's behind him. Good yardage. Lowers his head. Regener down 40. First down, Ramblers. Some plays tonight, this offense for the Ramblers, they've made it look very easy. And other times they just have looked out of sync. And I'm not sure what that is. Maybe things came too easy for them last week. Either way, though, Husky D still holding strong. Snyder to pass. It's a fade pass. Deep. In and out of the hands again of Brad Ouimet again. And it looked like he might have had Thompson beat maybe Martindale as well. But no can do. Husky D, as I just mentioned, still holding strong. 8 and 13 to go now in the fourth. Huskies 19. Fraser nothing. And I'm happy for the Husky fans because not only is it a case of the Huskies have won one game their last 10, but that one win they had in Fraser last year. So the Husky crowd here at Memorial Stadium, I couldn't even tell you the last time they saw this team win. Long time ago, that's for sure. So I'm glad tonight they can see one. This is long overthrown, intercepted Huskies. Right in the hands of 6, Robert Lane, tackled hard out of bounds. Husky defense trying to do everything they can. It's not even about the win now. It's about posting the shutout, perhaps, and the big fat goose egg. That's one of those zone looks where basically your safety, Robert Lane, is the last guy back there. Quarterback threw it right in the last guy back there's hands. Look, he's the deepest guy. And if anything, that might have even been a pass he tried to throw away. But it's hard to react 100% precisely all the time. People aren't Peyton Manning, let's face it. You just react too quickly sometimes for your mind, and that might have been what happened there. He might have just been trying to throw that pass away, and instead he threw it right to the safety. To pass again, Poirier, but it's blocked and batted down. We've seen a few deflected passes tonight, most in the variety of the Husky defensive line, who, might I add, have done a great job. I called them out tonight, beginning of the broadcast. Their leader, number 55, Brandon Adair, and company up front, they've been excellent. And that, I tell you something, that Justin Frox Breyer, too, he's been quite the load. And he is absolutely huge. Lining up right now as the left tackle is Fox Breyer on offense. This one's a fumble because they took it right out of his hands. Fraser finally, touchdown. The old-fashioned, look what I found, pal, I'm taking it from you. Joe Lamb did it. 33, Pat McGuffin got the handoff. Lamb just basically grabbed it from him. Believe me, it counts as a fumble. That's 6. If your offense can't do it, your defense better. And the Ramblers, one last chance to fight back. 72 there, by the way. partially injured Spencer Vassbinder, and that would be a shame because he's played a great game tonight. Yeah, he just stole the ball right from his hands. Look at that. Highway larceny. One of the rare moments in this life where if you're a Rambler fan, a Fraser parent, you're happy they just stole something. Yeah. There he goes. And nobody's there, obviously. They're so shocked he just took it right from out from under him. There's the bear in all of his glory. What's that tattoo of, Bear? I didn't even recognize him tonight without his beard, because in all the years he's done this, he's always had a great big beard. So I had to double take tonight. I thought he was somebody else. Injury still on the field. On a serious note, Spencer Vassbinder. He'll be all right. He's a TG tough guy. That's why. Anyway, players of the game tonight, as we see Paul Campow. Well, they've got to help Spencer Vassbinder here up. Coach Connell does look concerned, so he gets a hand. Something to do with his foot or his ankle or his knee, obviously a lower leg injury. You hope when you see this that it's just a cramp. It can be. If it was something serious, they'd be bringing the stretcher out, but two linemen helping him off, not putting any pressure on the one leg, so clearly a leg injury. Anyway, players of the game tonight. Defensive player of the game for Fraser, I got to go with this Diallo Bellamy. Outstanding cornerback work, got the early pick, and really he's kept who I think is the best Husky player with the exception of Heck offensively. He's kept him in check, Sufis. And I said the Huskies have got to get the ball in Sufis' hands. Bellamy made that hard to do tonight, so he's my defensive player of the game for Fraser. Offensively, there hasn't really been a lot for them. I would say maybe number 11, Marcus Bowers, because he had that string when he checked in the third quarter there early, and he did a pretty good job there on that drive. 2nd down and 10. Handoff, met immediately, pushed back immediately, and pushed back hard at that. Pat McGuffin, perhaps getting some revenge for a moment ago. So we'll get to the Husky players of the game here in just a moment as well, as we have 7:41 to go left in the fourth. As you see the Husky cheerleaders, or is that the Fraser cheerleaders? Kicking their pom-poms anyway. Did I just see correctly a moment ago? Were you sleeping, Bear? Yes or no real quick. Does Ed Sinek allow that? He does, okay. What a boss to work for. If I fell asleep, you know he wouldn't allow that. But anyway, Derek Work, Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Again, great night for the Huskies. What can I tell you? Minus that little display there defensively where they just picked his pocket a moment ago. But I like what I'm seeing because it's a different team than last year. They've put all this behind them. And if you notice something, well, I say that with the turnover there a minute ago, but they're keeping their turnovers to a minimum. That's the big Achilles heel for this team last season. All the turnovers. Now, not so much. Now you see it shows on the scoreboard. There you go. Keep it up. Keep the intensity up. Coach Connell's got to like what he sees so far, especially out of his defense. Derek Work, Big D, CPHS, and Bear, no more sleeping. All right. You think I was going to let you get away with that? That's probably why you did it in the first place. Everybody's a good sport here. The crew of CPHS. We wouldn't have it any other way. Kickoff, 20. Stutter steps, 25. Spin move, nope, 24. 15, the tackle, Joe Lamb of Fraser. So again, Marcus Bowers, I'll give him offensive player of the game for Fraser, as I mentioned, because there really is not much to choose from. And I like what Bellamy did as a corner. 75, he's my guy. Talking about Jordan Killion and Frank the Tank, whoever that is. Maybe that guy's Frank the Tank. Well, he lines up like he might be Frank the Tank. There you go. Anyway, fun. Huskies. Offensive player of the game, it's got to be Damian Heck. Really, he came out of nowhere. I was not expecting this. I said all game long, we need a breakaway back at Northern. Finally, we have one. Broken record, but I'm going to keep saying it because it's so refreshing. Finally, a kid that can bust from the line. Didn't do it here, doesn't matter. He's running down the clock. It's the right move. It'll be second down after the loss of a couple. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage if he's lucky. Defensive players of the game, it's hard to say because I like the effort as a unit by this group. But I'm going to have to say the defensive line as a unit because I called them out. I said they're Adair's unit. Adair played well, but just to say Adair is the defensive player of the game, it doesn't really give the line justice. So the entire defensive line for the Huskies gets my defensive player of the game. And again, Damian Heck, offensive player of the game. Basically, although it's not fair to say this, basically for one big run, which you could tell really tired him out too. He was huffing and puffing like the little engine that could after it, I'll tell you. I'm not sure completely how many yards it was, but let me just say this. It was more than 90. It was less than 100. He went the whole field and brought the house down. Back, I believe, in the third. And I said it then. Something I have not seen in a long, long time. A tailback in a Husky uniform bust one from that far away. Great to see, and congratulations, Damian Heck. 3rd and 15, good pass rush. Throws it outside on the run, caught 40, 45, 50. If he stays in bounds, he could be gone. 30, now 20, 15, 10, 5. See ya, touchdown, Austin Thompson, all the way. It's a perfect pass because Poirier fed him on the run. If he has to stop at all, the play isn't nearly as effective, and he doesn't get nearly the amount of yards that he did. Because he was on the run, the play's designed to hit him on the run. The corner was stunned. He just didn't get over there quick enough. That's what hitting him on the run did for them. Great job, great pass, catch, length of the field, sayonara. Completely different Husky team. Completely different from a season ago. Sufis, it's through. And it seems like if you look at Sufis after these extra point tries, it's almost like he's breathing a sigh of relief every time. Coach Connell comes trotting out, and he's not happy. Well, it's an injury, that's why. He's saying to his kids, get off the field so he can tend to his player here, Justin Dodge, number 40. I don't even want to comment on that one. Was that for my benefit? Because that hideous green and white hat could not have been for my benefit. I noticed you didn't stay on it for very long, and you knew I was speechless. But here's another play that made me speechless for other reasons. Look at him. He's on the run, and it's just too much speed. And again, it goes back to the fact that if the play's designed to hit him on the run, and you do it, and they get trapped, you have them caught in a speed burst fight, but you already have the step or two ahead of him as you catch that ball. And he never lost that step. He never lost that extra couple steps. He just kept on a-going. There you go. 40 gets up, by the way, Justin Dodge, because he's a TG tough guy. That's why. That's a throw off the back foot, but look, it's on the run, and they are caught. I think 12 there, in his own right, Dylan Walker, he might have just assumed that Austin Thompson went out of bounds. But he didn't. And the whole way, it was right next to me. So the first thing I'm watching there is Thompson's feet. And he was in bounds, believe me, I was watching it. He was barely in bounds, but he was. There you go. 26-6 now, Huskies. In the last 2 years, I can't tell you the last time, or even 3, 4, 5 years, the last time the Huskies had a team up 20 in the fourth. It really speaks volumes. I couldn't be happier for Coach Connell either, because it's been a bit of a trying time, let's face it. He took over for Coach Kucera, went 7-3, got the playoff berth. We know all about that. Tough loss to Lakeview, but we won't go there. The year after, many people felt like with Johnsmore and Kotsko, they were just one game away. But more than that, at 5-4, they were a 6-3 team, maybe even a 7-2 team. They were better than they played, and they were, believe me, because I've seen a lot of teams in my 16 years. They were good enough to at least make the playoffs that year, but they didn't. And then, of course, the disappointing 1-8 a season ago, and now it looks like they're battling back. But the point I'm making is, Coach Connell comes in, replacing Coach K, has that great year. Your expectations are huge for the next year and the next year. Let's get nasty. Port Huron kickoff, end zone, touchback. Again, it's the Big D, Derek Wark. BigDsports.info. I'll write about it, and I'll be happy to. Huskies have given me something great to write about, so you know I will. And there it's on the screen. How about that? Yep, the folks at CPHS treat me nice, so I can't say nothing bad about them. There you see public address announcer on the other side of the field, and it looks like they really did up that side of the press boxes. I guess both sides have been repainted and redone and all the rest. Not sure how much they did to this side, but I got a new desk anyway, and I'm happy about that. This is a bang-bang play. And I tell you something, if that's that Artez Hadley again, it is for the Huskies. He's made some tackles tonight. He really has. He's been right into the mix tonight. And he's had a good game from the cornerback position. To pass again, outside. No, he looked up first. 23, Brad Ouimet has dropped the ball a few times tonight. But that play you could clearly see. His head moved first. You have got to watch that ball into your hands. The catch is what's important. Obviously, it's easy for me to say if you think you're going to get decked, because you have a habit of looking towards the defender before you make the grab. It's common sense. It's human nature. Sometimes players in that situation will drop the ball on purpose. Believe me, it happens. They will. Play fake, QB keeper, Snyder, first down. And really a lot on that one. 10 yards. More than that. Up 39, so not a bad carry there for Snyder. He came out, this Fraser offense came out. They looked very, very good. They looked sharp. Not anymore. But again, I think that's more to do with the Husky D, who positionally, I think have played a strong game, if not for up front at the D-line where I said they had to be dominant. But what I also can't figure out is why Fraser, who, let's face it, was running Bowers right down the throat of the Huskies, why they didn't just keep doing it. I read where they used Matt Rowan, as a power back. They haven't even done that. So unless I read wrong, I was expecting a power game, smash mouth, tire guys out. Instead, we've seen this 42 Nate Hayward, and not to take anything away from him, because he was good, especially right off the bat. But this is not what I was expecting from them. Fine pass to the 40, now 35, maybe 31. Ground caused that fumble, but a reception made Ryan Reginer and a first down for the Ramblers. Well, it could be a bend but don't break. It could be a play off him, because that play was pretty easy, and the corners of the Huskies have had good defense all night long. Yeah, they're playing off him a little bit. They certainly did there. But it's the right move. It doesn't matter what you win by, as Hadley makes the tackle. It's if you win. So this is what football, this is what you do. You play prevent, you play bend but don't break, you keep them in bounds, you keep the clock going. 2nd down and 5. Passing again, outside, no. And that was just a little bit of miscommunication. Not really a deep drop back from him, Snyder. And the Bear gets me through the window. I caught you, but I caught you late, buddy. There it is. 18-4 last time they played the Red Sox. I wasn't happy about that, but that's still a big D. And that's the big bear right there. All right. 4:38 to go in the fourth. All Huskies, 26-6. One back, four wide. QB rollout again. Snyder waits to the last minute. Hit from behind and downed hard. Well, they're going to say roughing the passer, I think. 20, Genio Morgan with the sack. But you know what? If that's roughing the passer, I have to tell you, I don't agree with it. Unless he grabbed the face mask or something. Well, they're pointing against the Huskies, so it is going to be some kind of a penalty here. Well, I didn't get the call. I think it is a personal foul, though. Either way, it's inside the 15 now to the 13. I can't be roughing the passer, though, because I saw just a simple tackle here. I don't really know what this was all about. Here you see Snyder getting down by this first man, but he doesn't make the tackle. Well, we can't tell by that. The tackle came late. The roughing the passer call was on that late tackle, not on the initial one. Snyder, good job to avoid the pass rush. Stepping in front of the pass and almost picking it off is 6, Robert Lane. It's an excellent effort by the Huskies, but can they keep it up? Fraser cannot be the only football team you beat. You've got to step it up. What they've got to do is play like this against the Big Reds. There's no more Mark Chapman. There's no more excuses. I don't see it. I don't see that. Are they calling roughing the passer or are they calling a late hit? I'm missing that one. That is not a personal foul, I'll tell you that. I don't know what they called. But this secondary, if they play like this against the Big Reds in week 5, who knows? This is a fade. On the lob. Caught end zone. Perfect pass. Touchdown. Ramblers. Brad Ouimet, who I'm glad to see they used here. And this is one of the rare instances where if a guy's dropping balls all night long, you're going to start to think after a while, they're not going to go to him. He drops everything. That's why you do keep going to him, for that reason, because you catch D off guard, and might I add, perfect fade pass by Dean Snyder. That is absolutely a perfect pass. It's a lob ball, back of end zone, where only Ouimet can catch it. That was perfectly done. Best pass Snyder has thrown all night, bar none. Well, they're going to go for 2 here, as it's 26-12. Extra point does them no good. Inside route touchdown and 2-point conversion complete. Both of them done. So, an 8-point trip down the field for the Ramblers. 26-14 now the score. They're starting to battle back. This is the other thing. When you're up 19-0, you can get a little lackadaisical. Believe me, this has been a long 8 minutes. It's only half of that now. There's 4 minutes left to go in the fourth. The Huskies want this clock to just run right down. It's not doing that. Fraser's hanging around. 2-possession game now. Obviously, Huskies get the ball back. They're not going to do anything fancy. Run, 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 punt. That's all you're doing right now. And then you get the ball back again the next time. Run, 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 punt. It's the right thing to do. But if you let a team like this hang around and hang around, you're asking for trouble. That's why I don't always agree with prevent defense. You can get too lackadaisical. You really can. Because you form a habit. And football players, like anybody out there, are creatures of habit. You can think to yourself, we've got it easy now. And you get used to that. All of a sudden you look up, it's 26-14. They try the onside kick. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. Sure-handed Mike Poirier doubling up as quarterback and return man on this particular play. Couldn't catch the Huskies sleeping. Downed by Mike Poirier. Nice job, nice hands at the 48 maybe the 49, Huskies will get the ball there. Well, you kind of sense that that is not the usual place. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the usual place where Mike Poirier will hang out. Right there, the front line. So I think Coach Connell there inserted him in expecting the onside kick. Obviously, as a coach, you put your most sure-handed guys right up front. Do kickers look around before they make that kick for the guy they think will be the least sure-handed? Sure they do, absolutely. They've got nothing to lose by doing so. So you put the sure-handed guys up front in that situation, and I think that's why Poirier was up there. Is he up there all the time? I don't know. I find that hard to believe if he's the quarterback, but you never know. Oh, I'm not sure who that is. Crutch is right next to the 40. Looks like he's in some pain, though. TG tough guy, man. Heal up quick. So that clock really cannot tick down fast enough. Fraser, 2 timeouts remaining. They're getting close enough in this game where they might start using them. But they've got to stop the Huskies. And they've got to keep doing it on 3 and outs. High snap, not going to help. Fake handoff, close knit. It fooled Fraser. Mike Poirier breaks through 25, maybe 24. First down, Huskies. Read option football is done like this, but that wasn't a read option type of play. That was just a close-knit handoff, and basically, it fooled Fraser because they took for granted that he was going to get this football. Well, it's like a read option setup, but Poirier just kept the ball and ran through. That's similar to what Mark Chapman has been doing these last 2 years for the Big Reds. He play fakes and then just goes quickly through guard and tackle. Worked there, though, because it's such a tightly bunched handoff, you don't completely know who has it, and that fooled Fraser. This line shift, which has worked so well for the Huskies tonight, they've caught Fraser on it a couple times. Damian Heck didn't get around left side quick enough. He gets jumped and rocked by a couple guys. 28 among them, Matt Keys, 41 as well. Don't have him, so he's Mr. X. There you go. And that man right there, he looks like the type of guy you'd call Mr. X, but he's not. He's the Ox. Where's your Ox shirt? He has a shirt that says Ox on it. Next week, okay. It's that 5XL shirt, and I don't have a shirt that says Big D. I've asked Channel 6 for one for a long time now. But the Ox does indeed have one that says Channel 6, the Ox. He wore it last year. And that, if he's not already legendary enough, that shirt helped to do just that. So there you go. 2:04, timeout on the football field. Well, I have this timeout because I may forget in week 4. As a city, though, for football, if the Big Reds aren't playing the Huskies, then I believe we are one. That's just the way it is. Same city, so you want to cheer ex-players who played here. I want to personally, as we see Suds there on the camera, which has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, is that a wedding ring on Sud's finger? It is. How about that? Don't swim with that on. You'll fall straight to the bottom, Suds. Yeah. Congratulations. If that's a wedding ring, congratulations. Might be, might not be. I don't know. We'd have to ask Suds on that. But anyway, back to more serious matters, what I was going to talk about before we saw Suds and her razzle-dazzle. Jarrett Chapman last week at the Big House, ex-Big Red player, had an interception. He picked off Devin Gardner on play 2 from scrimmage for Michigan. I just want to say how wonderful that was. Because for me as an announcer of ex-Port Huron players, Port Huron Northern players, Port Huron Big Red players, that was a degree of satisfaction for me, the Big D, to see one of our own on the biggest stage of D1 college football, as we have a timeout here. And when I say biggest stage, I don't mean a national championship. I don't mean a Rose Bowl. I don't mean anything like that. I mean the biggest stadium alive. And he did it on the biggest stage from that thought. So, Jarrett Chapman, Patty Chapman, and the whole Chapman family, congratulations. One of our own really did make it. And this isn't a Big Red versus Husky thing. You put Huskies in D1, I'll say the same thing. But Port Huron, one of our own, Jarrett Chapman, way to go, kid. Way to go. And he even told me, I've been talking to him a little bit, he told me he might even be here one of the weeks this year when the Big Reds come in. So that's something to certainly watch for. But congratulations, JC, Jarrett Chapman. Great stuff. And I got booed in my section because I actually cheered for that interception. Everybody's like, but Big D, you're a Maize and Blue fan. Yeah, but I'm also a Port Huron City fan as well. So great stuff. Back to this one. Poirier, shotgun. Lowers his head, battering ram 15, 14, and 13. 12 the tackle, Dylan Walker, who he ran right through before going down. Well, one timeout left for Fraser. They're just going to run out of time here. They're not going to have the time to come back in this football game. And really, at a point in the game where you have to have a defensive effort that exceeds what you've done at any point in the game already, or you're just not going to win the game. I think the defense here for Fraser, considering the moment, have been a little shady, to be honest. I mean, if you're not forcing Northern 3 and out on simple QB keepers, no gadget plays, nothing fancy, just go right at them. Northern, that's a sign right there that Northern might just be wearing Fraser down up front. We have delay of game on the Huskies. Might have been on purpose, might not be. It doesn't really matter because you're running that clock right down. Choosing not to use a timeout. Scoreboard says caught napping. Well, there you see the napping. That's hard to see with the camera right now. Before it said napping, it said caught. So that's kind of funny. Amusing. They've got some neat graphics on that thing. That's nice. I like that new scoreboard. One of the few things new that I do like. The new pipes ripped out of the wall in my corner here. Believe it or not, I'm not a big fan of that. It looks great though, honestly. It looks like I just did the plumbing. So there you go, except for all the cords plugged into it. Thanks, by the way, to Ed and EJ down there in the truck. They gave me my only fan again tonight. I told Ox earlier. Again, they've given us our only fan. And he said, ha, your only fan, maybe. His popularity is growing. Another guy whose popularity might be growing, besides the police officer right there doing a fine job on his night of work, Damien Heck tonight. Did he ever look good? Possibly his coming out game. He had something like 50, 60 yards, I think, at the half, and then he broke one. 90 plus in this game and a touchdown. That's when you know that perhaps, maybe, he's for real. First down and 15. Shotgun, Poirier. The give. Up the middle, downed, maybe 11. Dragged down after a decent carry from Clint Massey. Straight up and straight down. To our final minute now of this one. Marking it right about the 11, maybe the 12. There they are. Yeah. See here? I did not do the plumbing. I didn't. It wasn't ripped out of that wall. Yeah, it was. It was ripped out of that wall, but I didn't do it. I'm not the plumber here. But yeah, you can kind of see here. This is what I'm dealing with. And they call this new. They say this is new. Where? I don't know. Well, the desk here. Get the desk. That's new. They need credit for this. Because this is a nice shiny desk. And you know what? Last year, all the tape that was on my desk, it was peeling. The paint was just peeling right off. We got something new here tonight. I'm liking that. So that's something I do agree with. And you know the Big D Bear, he complains a lot, but I'm not complaining about this desk here. So, yeah.
You should crank that window or something. It's hot in there.
Well, Bear tells me I should crank the window. You know why I have it open? Or closed, sorry? Because when I have it open, I'm such a loudmouth, the fans yell at me. Yeah, it's not how to get famous. There you go. Final 22 seconds. They're sorting this one out. I've had that happen before. Seriously. the window's been open here. Fans have yelled out, "Shout up! Shut up!" And Ox yelled out back, "Shut up!" So that was when the windows were open here. Husky's going to kneel, and that's going to do it. Fraser's out of timeouts. That's it. From Memorial Stadium, where tonight the Huskies made a definitive statement for the future of Pat Connell's program. So far, so good. It looks aggressive defense. They took advantage of it, and that led to offense. Final score tonight from Memorial Stadium, a very happy Huskies on week 2 and our week 1 at CPHS Channel 6. Huskies 26, visiting Fraser Ramblers 14. For the entire cast of CPHS Channel 6, I've been Derek Wark, the Big D. See you next week, folks. Huskies back here again next week. Indeed a great game, aggressive team, aggressive win. Way to go, Huskies. See you next week, folks.